Now, back to more of Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theatre. And your host, Lisa Condit.
Thank you all for tuning in. I'm excited to be on the phone with Debra Cardona. She plays the role of Consuelo in On Your Feet, which we're very excited to have coming to the Hanover Theatre, March 27th through the 31st. Tickets are still available at the Hanover Theatre, spelled with an RE.org. Welcome, Debra.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and you've got some really great credits to your name before On Your Feet, which we're going to talk all about. You've also been in A Christmas Carol at Madison Square Garden and Soul Doctor, and you toured the U.S. with Mary Poppins.
Yes, and I was just on Rent Live.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Yeah. On Your Feet gave me a little break so that I could go to L.A. for a couple of months and rehearse and do Run Live, which was a lot of fun.
Well, I love the energy that I feel from everything having to do with On Your Feet. And first of all, I'm a huge Gloria Estefan fan, and I think most people my age really are. So the excitement of having this musical, which really talks about her life and her struggles, is really exciting for our market. Can you tell me a little bit and our listeners a little bit about what they can expect from the show in case they're not familiar?
Well, first of all, half our band play with the Miami Sound Machine.
Ooh.
Yeah. Our musical director, Clay Ostwald, has been with Gloria for 32 years. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. 4 of them have been with her for about 25, 30 years. And then we have a newer member who's been with her, I guess, not as long, but has played with her quite a bit. And then the other 5 are newer, younger musicians that they brought in that are amazing. It is going to be the best sounding band you've ever heard.
Well, I love how Entertainment Weekly describes it as ferociously fun and feel-good musical. Ferociously fun. Does that capture it?
Oh, absolutely. And also it's very moving, and it just speaks to everyone. It is about Gloria and Emilio Estefan's life, how they met, how they created music. I mean, some of the things that they're most famous for, how they broke through. They started out in the Spanish language market, and their record label did not want them to cross over. And they went out and they did it on their own.
Good for them.
Thank goodness.
Right?
Thank goodness they were the first to break through. And then they, in turn, helped other crossover artists. They helped Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony and Shakira and all these amazing artists that we listen to all the time now.
And they really were the first ones. I remember when Miami Sound Machine was getting really big, and then I also remember really when Gloria seemed like she hit her stride, and then the accident happened, right?
That was, yeah. They did not think, at first they thought she would never walk again.
Wow.
Yeah. There are, to this day, 2 8-inch rods in her back.
Wow.
And from the time of the accident, she came back in a year.
Wow.
I mean, I remember Emilio saying something on an interview recently about how he had to wake her up every 45 minutes to get her to walk.
Wow.
It was long. It was hard. It was painful. But she was able to come back, and she was doing an international tour a year later.
That is incredible to me because I don't know if our listeners have ever known anybody who has had a back injury. But the injuries that she sustained and the fact that they didn't think she was going to walk again, and she fought back and she really overcame some amazing obstacles, and then to be performing on the world stage again, some would say better than ever.
Yeah. I've seen, when I first joined the tour, I would look at footage from all these, the tours from like the early 90s after she came back, and I just kept shaking my head thinking, how is she doing this? How is she doing this? She's got to be in pain. I can't believe it. And it's so much energy and dancing, and her voice is better than ever. And, it's it's such an inspiration.
Which is great that this whole musical is called On Your Feet. I also want to point out to our listeners that the choreography is going to be amazing in On Your Feet. We have, of course, had Jersey Boys here, so we're familiar with the work of Sergio. We've actually had him on this program. And then we also have the Tony Award winner, Jerry Mitchell. Right,
yeah.
from Kinky Boots, has also had a part in this whole thing. So the talent that's come together to make sure that this musical is stand up, feel good, really inspiring experience, it's substantial.
Yeah, I pinch myself every day. And the book of the musical was written by Alexander Dinelaris, who won the Oscar for writing the script to Birdman.
It's incredible. So I have to ask, as part of the tour, how long have you been part of this tour, Mary?
I've been with the tour for a year.
Right. And so what was your journey getting there?
Oh my goodness. I knew that the show was happening, and I ran to see it when it was on Broadway, and I fell in love with it, and I just wanted to be a part of it. Luckily, they were auditioning for the tour. I was working out in L.A., so I flew out. I auditioned in New York, flew back to L.A., got a call back, flew back.
Wow.
And auditioned, and I didn't get the part of Gloria's grandmother, Abuela Consuelo, right away. They offered the tour to the Broadway cast, so half the Broadway cast started out this tour.
Yes.
And then as people started leaving, when the woman that originated the part left, then they reached out to me and offered me the role, and I took it. I mean,
of course.
It was interesting because they really liked me, but they auditioned for me one more time, and they sent the video to Gloria and Emilio. And if they said yes, then I was in, and they said yes.
Yay! So tell us a little bit about what it's like to play the role of Gloria's grandmother, and are there parts that we should really keep an eye out when we come and we see you on stage? What are some of those moments that you want to make sure we are aware of?
Yes. Well, Gloria's abuela really, really believed in her musical talent. Gloria had a hard childhood because her father had a multiple sclerosis, and her mother was going back to school to re-get her teaching credentials. So Gloria was home taking care of her father and her little sister and writing songs and singing, but that was not encouraged by her mother. Her grandmother took her aside and said, "This is what you really should do. This is where your talents lie, and this is what makes you happy. I see that it makes you happy, so go out and do what makes you happy." And she encouraged Gloria and fought for Gloria until Gloria was old enough to fight for herself. And even Emilio says when he first saw Gloria, there was like this sadness in her, but when she sang, she was so happy.
Oh, that's so sweet. And I can't even imagine Gloria seeming sad, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
So any big numbers, anything that is your favorite part of the whole show that we should, make sure that we're paying attention and we don't excuse ourselves to go to the ladies' room?
Oh, yeah. When, toward the end of Act 1, there was a whole section on how they developed the song Conga.
Oh.
It is hilarious and funny, and you want to just get up and dance. It's really, really, really a lot of fun. But that's okay. You won't miss it. Trust me.
We won't miss it. Okay. Well, we cannot wait. So, again, very happy to be speaking with Debra Cardona. She plays the part of Consuelo, which is, of course, Gloria's grandmother, in On Your Feet when it comes to the Hanover Theater and Conservatory for the Performing Arts, and that's going to be March 27th through March 31st. We are, of course, grateful to the generosity of Bay State Savings Bank, who is sponsoring this particular run at the Hanover Theater. Tickets, of course, are still available on our website, which is the Hanover Theater, spelled with an RE.org. And we obviously cannot wait. You may not know this, Debra, but this is also a really important show for us here at the Hanover Theater because it's going to be part of our Adopt a School program where our education department works within different schools within the Worcester Public School district. and they incorporate arts into every part of their curriculum, and they're using this show, this musical, as the theme for all of those lesson plans, with the culmination where those students are able to come and see On Your Feet at the Hanover Theater, every single student and teacher. So it's a really special time. You'll see when you come into the theater that we will have artwork that the students have done, different writings that they have done up throughout the theater, just to show that connection between arts and education. So it's a very special.
Amazing.
Yes,
I'm looking forward to meeting the students. Arts is so important, and it was a great inspiration to me when I was very young. So it helped form me and led me on the path that I'm on today.
Absolutely. So we're all going to get up on your feet. Again, that's March 27th through the 31st at the Hanover Theater and Conservatory for the Performing Arts. Debra, thank you so much for your time today. We're looking forward to welcoming you to Worcester. Everybody else, stay tuned. We'll be back after this quick break on Behind the Scenes with the Hanover Theater here on WCRN AM 830.